Hey, we're on.
Hey, oh, we're on. Hey, guys. I haven't been home very long, so Banjo is wallering on me. But it's 8 o'clock on Sunday night, so it's time for Sunday with the Sullivans. I like alliteration up here.
Cooking Keto with Kristie.
Cooking Keto with Kristie, Sunday with the Sullivans. And we have a little Banjo, bad boy Banjo. Hi, Karen. How are you? Karen is watching. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Chibo. I literally just got in. It hasn't been long at all since I got in from, where was I?
Kentucky, Louisville.
Louisville, Kentucky, with Chibo doing the cooking class. And we had so much fun with that. Crystal was awesome. I couldn't have done it without Crystal. She was fantastic. Just traveling over, we had all kinds of adventures. I didn't tell you about like the crazy experience and the cab ride and
the hotel was enough.
The hotel incident and the hotel. We stayed at the 21C Museum, which was fantastic. Like, they put us at a great place, but it was this art museum. And David, we went, I don't think I told you this. So they have like these one-way mirrors. And we went into the women's bathroom downstairs, not in our rooms. And in that little downstairs area, you're in the bathroom, and there's a one-way mirror. And she made the 5-minute lasagna. I said she really liked it, Karen. But anyway, we went into the bathroom, and there's a one-way mirror. So you could be in the women's bathroom, and you look out and see people in the hallway. Well, as we left the women's bathroom, we started back down the hall. There was another like one-way mirror, and it had like water, like a waterfall. And we were like looking at it, we're going, oh, that's an interesting waterfall and that, you know. So Crystal and I are kind of peering at it. What we found out later was what we thought was just like a waterfall wall. It was a one-way mirror. And on the other side of the waterfall wall was the men's bathroom. And that's where the urinals were. So can you imagine a man in there in the urinal and we're like looking at the waterfall? Anyway, it was an interesting place. It really was. I can't even begin to describe it. So if you get a chance.
Sounds like a place to go back to.
Yeah,
right?
the 21C. Well, and it's like, it is a place where people go. They're laughing. It's a place to go. Like the tourists come in just to see the art, which is really fascinating. But anyway, it was just really it was fun. It was fun. Oh, somebody else made the bagels from Crazy Busy Keto. Those are yummy, aren't they? Those everything bagels. David doesn't love all their garlic.
Nope.
What's wrong
Karen's
with
been to that hotel before.
Have you been to the hotel? So Karen knows what I'm talking about. It's a little out there, but it was fun. It was very avant-garde, I would say. But anyway, we had a great time cooking keto with Kristie and Crystal and doing the Chibo thing. The recipe, I think, was a hit. What we've heard from everybody is they really like the French onion chicken skillet, and people are asking me to share that recipe. And I have to be honest, I'm really kind of torn about that. I was going to put it in the children's book, and then I decided maybe it's not really a good children's flavor, even though Gracie likes it. Jonathan doesn't love it because of the mushrooms. But, you know, people paid for that class, and I think it's kind of fun for them to have that exclusive recipe for at least a little while. So I don't know. We'll talk about whether to do that. And speaking of recipes, we were going to do a recipe tonight, but honestly, my flight was delayed. I was so late coming in. We're not doing a recipe tonight. Sorry, honey. David cooked, by the way. He actually cooked, I think, did you miss me? Or just get hungry?
Yes, of course I missed you terribly, terribly, terribly. I wanted to welcome you home with a fabulous meal.
And he did. Oh, and by the way, speaking of welcome, this was part of, we had this really cool apron that we had for the Chibo class, and it says Cooking Keto with Kristie. It has these great pockets on it, and we did these as a giveaway, and it has the nice V-neck on there. But anyway, we did that, and we wore red shirts under, and we had this bag, like this like tote, shopping bag, reusable bag, that has the Cooking Keto with Kristie on it. And I brought you something.
Oh,
I brought you
didn't tell me that.
I didn't tell you, from Louisville. So the hotel was great. It had the weird art with a urinal, but it was great. And at breakfast, they had local bacon. And so we ordered bacon. Look, I brought you bacon. This is local bacon that I saved and brought to you. It's salty. It's not warm. It's like chewing it. Isn't that delicious?
Mm-hmm. That's like pork belly.
It is like pork belly. It's like nice and fatty. But I brought you bacon. It's your little souvenir.
That's
but
good.
We had, so they did an Eggs Benedict, and they did it over a like cornmeal muffin. We asked them to do it over avocado. So they had the poached egg, the hollandaise sauce, y'all. We're gonna make that hollandaise sauce. They put bacon fat in it. The hollandaise had bacon fat and some espresso. So Winston, he can't see it. Winston's come over to join David with the bacon. And he's kind of just, if you hear him whining, he's like, she brought that to me.
Banjo's here, Winston's here, and the bacon's right here.
David's going to be attacked on camera. But anyway, I brought you bacon, but we had that delicious breakfast. If you're ever in a restaurant having brunch and you see the Eggs Benedict, ask them for it not over the muffin, but over avocado. Sorry, that is Winston complaining that he's not getting bacon. But anyway, have them make it over avocado or over spinach. Usually I'll use spinach. He's going to knock over the tripod. But anyway, we did the giveaways. We had a lot of fun. Winston is now joining us on camera. We had a lot of fun with the Chibo class. We may do it again. I was a little disappointed in the technical problems that people had. And so I think if we do it again, we need to really resolve the technical issues. But I think it was just a ton of fun. People had their wine and had a really great time. Yeah, poor Winston. People feeling sorry.
There's Crystal.
Hey, Crystal. Crystal's watching. I just showed the aprons and all those things. So that's the Chibo.
And the bacon.
And the bacon. Crystal, I shared the bacon with him. No, Winston. Winston is after it. He's a good boy. He just had dinner. I promise he's been fed. So I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of finding what works for you. Because one of the interesting things for me has been in writing Growing Up Keto, the differences in our children. So Growing Up Keto is that kid's book that we had to, I think I told you guys last week, we had to delay it, and I feel terrible about that, but there's just been a lot going on. But Grace tends to be more like her mom and has to be pretty strict with low carb and keto. We stick, sorry, that's Winston hitting the camera again. We stick pretty closely to 20 total carbs per day. So we're really super careful with it. Jonathan, when he decided in August he wanted to go keto, what I started with him was I said, Jonathan, just pay attention to how many carbs you're eating. And like the first day, he had eaten 200 grams of carbohydrate before dinner. And it was just crazy. So it was really eye-opening for both me and for Jonathan, I think for David too. And the pediatrician had actually suggested it to him. So it wasn't mom. And he made the decision. So we haven't imposed this on either of our kids. The kids made the decision. But what we learned from that was, would you say Crystal said something about sharing the bacon? But anyway, what we learned from that was that Jonathan he's metabolically healthy, and he has a much higher tolerance for carbohydrate. And he's 13. And he's 13. But he was at like 138 pounds, and he was like probably 5'1" or 5, yeah, something like that. 5'1", 5'2". And now he's 5'2", maybe a little taller than 5'2". So this is August to January, and he weighs about 116 pounds. He lost down to 112 and has started gaining weight as he's grown, which is fine. But he's a super, super healthy weight. But Jonathan eats as much as 25 grams of carbohydrate per meal. So Jonathan's goal is to stay 25 per meal, 75 per day at max. But Grace tends to stay closer to 20 per day and really under like 7 to 10 per meal. And I think Grace has to be that strict. And I don't know if it's metabolism, gender, hormones, and it's probably all of those things. Now, David.
Well, one thing about Jonathan, he told me this weekend, he's not losing weight anymore. And he really is a little bit frustrated that he's not. I think he'd like to lose a little bit more weight. So
well, and Jonathan,
he might want to.
We may need to talk about that because I'm not sure Jonathan needs to lose any more weight. I mean, he's at a great weight. His percentile height and weight are perfect. So he and I may need to talk about that. And I've told him, you're getting taller, you're getting bigger. You really should not be losing more weight. The goal is to be healthy. But he can eat things. He does use low carb wraps. He can eat those things, low carb bread. He can do those kinds of things that Grace and I probably couldn't. And kind of like David, I am like super, super strict and drink water, coffee, wine from time to time. David, the other day, and we're still together, still sitting on my sofa, I walked into the bathroom and he said, all seriousness, I think he'd just gotten off the scale, and he said, I think I'm going to give up diet soft drinks and lose 5 pounds this weekend.
Well, not this weekend, but a couple of weekends ago.
But that's what you said. That was a quote. What were you thinking, honey?
I had a death wish.
People are laughing.
Well, but what I mean, really, what I was thinking,
Yeah, what were you thinking?
it has been easier for me to lose weight than it has been for you. I mean, when we first started this, I started eating what you cooked and changing absolutely nothing. So I would go to work, I'd drink my Pepsis, I'd eat whatever I wanted to. When I came home, I had what you cooked. When I had breakfast, I had what you cooked. And I lost 10 pounds in those first couple of weeks.
10 pounds in 2 weeks.
And wasn't trying. And I mean, that's kind of what I was saying. I mean, I know I lose weight more easily than you do, and I'm sorry about that. I wish it was more fair.
Sounds like he was sorry, doesn't he? But he did. He said it in all seriousness. I think I'll give up diet soft drinks this weekend and lose 10 pounds. Or 5 pounds, lose 5 pounds. But it is true. And I think that's part of this, is figuring out, like, how strict do you need to be? And I'll be honest, there are physicians who will say, Kristie, the goal, if you have metabolic dysfunction, if you're diabetic or you have diabetes or you have PCOS or things like that, perhaps you need to be more strict. Certainly if you have epilepsy, you're managing for you need ketosis for therapeutic reasons, then you probably do need to be more strict. But I think for you, especially in the beginning, being more moderate was the key to sustaining this. And that's really the heart of what I wanted to talk about tonight. There are people who are moderators and people who are abstainers. And I know for me, I pretty much have to be an abstainer. Like if I have too many vegetable carbs, like too much cauliflower, I'll have cravings and I am out of ketosis. You, on the other hand, are more of a moderator. And that was what was important for your success early on. Because David, and I don't recommend this, but if you're having a hard time, David would take Fridays off.
I don't do that anymore.
He doesn't do it anymore. But
she would beat me.
He needed to do that in the beginning. And so he would have his Pepsi on Fridays. He'd have his bread. I remember we went out to dinner with friends.
Nutella.
Yeah, I found Nutella hidden in the garage, guys.
It was my emergency supply.
Emergency? Yeah.
Had never been opened after 2 years.
But he kept it just in case of the zombie apocalypse or something, I reckon. But he would have his drink. And I remember one Friday we went out to dinner with friends and we're at the steakhouse and they passed the bread basket. And I knew do you remember that? I knew Fridays were his day off. And they passed the bread basket, and of course I passed it. David picks up a piece of bread, and I'm giving him the Wi-Fi.
Oh, it was meaner than that.
It was not. I don't give it. And he locked eyes with me and went, like double dog dared me to say anything to him. But I think you needed that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I did. But now looking back, it's like, why did I take that bite? I mean, why did I take those bites?
Well, could part of it be, and I don't know, but could part of it be like just that power, that control? Like, she ain't gonna tell me what to eat.
Well, that might have been part of it, especially that night, because she was giving me the bad eyes. Really bad eyes.
He was eating bread.
Yeah, well, it was my day off. I could do what I wanted to.
But do you think that maybe, because eventually you chose, you said, I don't want that anymore.
Yeah, it certainly helped. It helped me from a mental standpoint, knowing, okay, if I just am strict for just 6 days, then I can have a day where I can do what I want to. Right. And I think that mentally helped me, over the hump, so to speak, and put me in a situation where I could then give it all up, which eventually I did. In fact, I came home one day and I looked at my dear wife and I said, "You have just ruined it for me."
You did. And I said, "You're welcome."
I told her that I had had a Pepsi that day and it wasn't even good.
Yeah, and I think that you had to get that point on your own. Mm-hmm. And I also think that's been true for the children. So I was really, really careful with Grace and Jonathan both, that it's their choice. And we went out to dinner one night, or breakfast, with Jonathan. And he's like, it's at this pancake restaurant. And he's looking around going, "Mom, those pancakes look really good." And we both said, if you want pancakes and biscuits, he wanted pancakes and biscuits. If you want it, get it. And he'd only been low carb for maybe a week or 2 weeks or so. And he said, no, I'm good. And they said, Mom, when we get home, will you make some low carb pancakes for me? And I did. He didn't like them. I have since found he loves the waffles from Crazy Busy Keto. He does like those as long as I stick to the recipe and don't try to tweak it. But he knows when I tweak it. He sticks to it. But I think if I had said, you can't have that, then it would have been a very different scenario. So especially, like I said, with the kids, I was so worried. Grace was 10 when we started this, and I was really worried about her being at risk for disordered eating and those kinds of things. And so I really tried to be careful. It was always, it's your choice. What do you want to do? But I think you felt so good. That you made that choice. The other thing.
Yeah, that's a good question. When you're doing what I'm doing or was doing, how hard is it to get back into ketosis?
Yeah, and that's a great question. But honestly, I think for David, he's metabolically healthier. You were on your way. You had some liver enzymes that were wonky and stuff. But I think that because it's not a medical condition, being in ketosis really is irrelevant to him. I think it was just about being healthy overall, because you can lose weight without being in ketosis.
Well, you can, but I think it probably slowed my weight loss down.
Yes,
I think it slowed my weight loss down, but like you said, that wasn't necessarily the end game, although it was really nice to lose weight.
Exactly, especially
including the 5 pounds whenever I gave up the diet soda.
So anyway, see what I live with?
It's not true.
Don't y'all feel bad for me? See what I live with? But I don't go off plan, because the handful of times, and I remember them very distinctly, the 3 or 4 times I got really, really sick. See, they're giving you mean eyes. They know. You're getting angry faces.
You should.
The few times
directed towards you?
No, it's you. The few times that I have eaten off plan, I got sick. And so it's just not fun for me. And so I'm very, very strict now. But again, and Crystal's telling me to tell you guys this. So Crystal said that her husband did more low carb. And when he actually went strict keto with her, it was easier. He had fewer cravings. And I've had people tell me that, even with carnivore, that was actually easier because they had fewer cravings because they had reduced the carbohydrates so much. But again, it's all about finding what works for you. What can you sustain? What can you sustain long term? And do you need to be a moderator? Do you need to be an abstainer? And figuring that out. And obviously what works for me doesn't necessarily work for you. What's worked for Jonathan would not work for Grace. And probably if I had said to Jonathan, no, you have to be this strict straight up, he'd still be a carbivore. Like, he would not have done this.
And I think it's Karen says she feels bad when she goes off keto. And I'll tell you, I do too now. I mean, whenever...
When do you go off keto?
I don't ever go off keto. But there are, whenever I eat like desserts and whatnot,
right,
that have higher quantities of erythritols or sugar alcohols, I do feel bad. I mean, I don't feel good. So
yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true. You can tell a difference when doing that. But anyway,
there was a question a while ago, which is an interesting question, but the question was about macros and how do you know how many macros, or how do you know the balance of the macros?
You don't. Well, you know what?
I rely on hers. Whatever she tells me, that works for me.
What I cook, he eats what I
right.
cook. I think the balance of the ratios are going to be different for different people. I know for me, again, use your hunger as a guide. When your hunger is suppressed, then you're probably doing okay. I think I overate fat today because I was feeling kind of gross, kind of nauseated a bit because I had that avocado, the poached egg, the hollandaise sauce, some bacon with that. So I think I overate fat. So pay attention to how you feel. The carbs are going to make you feel heavy and tired. If you're getting enough protein and fat, you want adequate protein. If you're getting enough protein and fat, your hunger is going to be managed or being controlled. So if you're hungry a lot, you probably need to reduce your carbs. You may need to reduce your carbs through total carbs, and you may need to cut out some of the products if you're eating the packaged product stuff, because I know that would make me incredibly hungry. Because I made the mistakes, guys. That's why I tell you what I did. I thought I could do Quest bars and Atkins bars and packaged product stuff. I bought it by the case in the beginning because I was busy and I didn't have time for all of this. But I made those mistakes, and when I stopped losing weight or stalled or gained weight even, then I figured out, okay, I have to be super strict. And these aren't the kinds of things I have to stick with real food. So she's asking, so what's it mean to be an abstainer? So if you're a moderator, you're somebody who can eat more low carb. You can, for like a holiday, you may say, I'm going to have this piece of cake, and you have a piece of cake. Grandma's, coconut cake, not my grandma's, the real thing. You have like the high carb thing, but it's controlled. It's that one time, it's that evening, you're okay, you're not going off the rails from it. If you're an abstainer, then you're like, you know what, I can't do that. It's a gateway drug. One bite, one thing off plan, I feel bad, I'm off the rails, I have cravings. There are people who went off plan at Christmas or Thanksgiving, and they're still struggling to get back on plan in July. And that's the truth, and it just breaks my heart for them. And that's also the other reason why I work so hard to create the recipes I do and to make the meals that I've always made. It's because I wanted the family to have options, especially Grace. You'll see so many of my recipes talk about, I developed this one for Grace, the cauliflower mac and cheese, or this is a David favorite, because I knew that they were more likely to be successful if they actually had food they loved and they didn't feel deprived. So anyway, so that's the whole moderator abstainer. Which are you? Are you metabolically healthier? You have the metabolic flexibility. You can eat a little higher carb. You can have your day off like David did in the beginning. Or are you somebody like me that you can walk by a donut shop and your pants get tighter? Like, that's just the reality of how it is. It's not fair. It's not fair, but I'm cuter than he is, so yeah. I always tell my children, if life were fair, like, you'd be a whole lot worse off, because we're pretty fortunate, we're pretty blessed. But anyway, so I'm back from my trip. I'm going to move on from that. I'm back from my trip, and honey, I love you, but I'm going away again. I'm going away in March.
Who's wanted to stay and help me?
Oh no, who's going to help him out while I'm gone? I'm going in March to Denver to low carb, low carb Denver. Dr. Gerber is one of the folks who does the low carb Denver, and I'm going with Team Diet Doctor. We're going to have so much fun. Crystal's going to be with me again. Watch out, we're traveling together. Kristen Parker is going to be there from Hawaii. Can't wait to see Kristen.
Oh wow! From the beaches to the ski slopes.
From the beaches to the ski slopes. We're not going to be skiing, honey. We're going to be working. This is working. We are staying in an Airbnb, and we're going to cook a little bit together, but we're going to be at the Low Carb Denver Conference. Dr. Doctor will have a booth there. We're going to be giving out a little bling, so come see us if you're coming to the Low Carb Denver Conference. Kristen Parker's going to be there. Debbie Roach is going to be there from Tennessee. Lauren Hoffman. Lauren's a moderator in our closed Diet Doctor member-only group, and Lauren's also in my big group, so Lauren's going to be there. I can't wait to spend some time with her. Andrea Seinfeld, Dr. Einfeld's going to be there. Dr. Shear's going to be. Look at all the hearts and loves. The video team that I love is going to be there. Ann Mullins, one of their fantastic writers, is going to be there. Adele Height, Francisca Spritzler. All the people are going to be there. So except my family. But anyway, we're going to have a fantastic time. So if you're going to be in Denver, let me know. Give us some hearts and love. Would love to connect with you guys in Denver. We're arriving a little early on Tuesday. We're going to be there at the reception. I got to do the coolest thing for the reception. The chef at the hotel was phenomenal. And so I got to work with the chef for the appetizers. So Dr. Gerber and I had kind of messaged back and forth. And I got to work with a chef about the appetizers for the reception that Thursday night. So when you go to the reception, let me know what you think about the food. We have some steak, we have some shrimp. I don't know if we get out the scallops or not, but it's going to be yummy, y'all. We had some good stuff, some caprese salad sticks, which I know you don't love. But anyway, I can't even remember all the stuff. But the chef was amazing at accommodating. So that was really kind of fun. I get to do the coolest things. So sorry you don't get to do that. But anyway...
no, you're not.
Well, the past 2 years, David and the kids have gone with me, and they've gone skiing or snowboarding. So anyway, I'm trying to read some of the stuff. Yeah, no, I'm just in Denver I'm not leaving my husband. I'm just in Denver from Tuesday to Sunday. Unfortunately, Grace is on break, so I'm going to miss part of her break, but I'm coming back Sunday so I can take her back to school on Monday. And that's in Denver. I think the conference is like the 12th through the 15th or something like that. the Denver conference. If you are
But just Google it, Low Carb Denver.
Low Carb Denver. Tickets are still on sale. And we're going to be live streaming. Diet Doctor's going to live stream, and I'm going to get to do some really cool stuff with the speakers. So on the Diet Doctor page, like the Diet Doctor Facebook page, go there and you'll see me doing Facebook Lives with some of the speakers at Low Carb Denver. So that'll be really fun. And if you're a Diet Doctor member, you can do the live stream. You get access for free. It's part of your membership. If you're not, you can sign up through the Low Carb Denver conference, and I think it's like $50 or something. So Dr. Gerber has an option for you if you're not a Diet Doctor member, or join Diet Doctor. Do the free trial. There's a 30-day free trial, and then you can get the live stream that way too. I like to save a penny every now and then. What else? Next week, I'm going to wrap this up because we've been talking a while. Next week, we will do a recipe. That is my plan. Who's going to cook for Grace while I'm gone? Did Grace tell you to ask that? Who's going to cook for Grace while I'm in Denver? We'll make sure she's cooked for
She'll cook for herself.
But next week we'll do a recipe. I really wanted to do a recipe, but the flight was delayed and we didn't get to do one tonight. But we're going to do, I think, one of your favorites. Look at him. He's like, what is that? I make a really yummy I'm on a French onion kick. French onion dip.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, the French onion dip. So, again, barring any surprises, my grandmother would say, good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, we'll do the French onion dip next week, and it is so, so yummy.
And it's so simple. Even I can do it.
Oh, you're going to make it?
No, but I can. I have.
Oh, okay, I didn't know he had made it. But anyway, it's super easy
And I
to
can
make.
eat it, too.
It's super easy to make, yeah, and he can eat it, yeah. It is really yummy, yummy, yummy. It's good just on like grilled chicken or with pork rinds or cheese crisps, or yeah, it's really delicious. But anyway, so we'll make a homemade French onion dip. Buy some onions,
Sour cream. Garlic? Is it
Yeah.
garlic or onion powder?
I'm trying to remember what goes in. I can't even remember, but
Seems like
beef
it's
broth.
onion powder, beef broth. Yeah, that's right. That's a big thing.
And I do use some bouillon, and we'll talk about that. But anyway, that's my plan. I'm sorry we didn't get to do it tonight. Just ran out of time. So anyway, it's great to see you guys. Happy Sunday. I hope you have a phenomenal week coming up. And Jonathan has braces off tomorrow, so it's a big week at the Sullivan house. We'll find out tomorrow afternoon. We go see the orthodontist. And Gracie's not home, and we're going to be working on growing up keto. Did you know that? This upcoming weekend. And our anniversary's next week. Did you know that? Yeah.
Yeah, but
I've done my time.
What do you say?
Jonathan just announced that he had done his time. He's been studying
He's
chemistry.
been studying chemistry. He's done with his chemistry. So I'm going to go see Jonathan a little bit, and we may watch a little TV or something. And it's great to see you guys. See you next week.
See y'all.
Bye.